All right, so this is the Smiths. The Queen is Dead. Big fan of the Smiths here on this channel. Took me a little bit to get into them, I'm not gonna lie, but now that I kind of understand their music, I really dig their styles. So really excited for this one. Let's get into it.
Between arches, her very lowness with a head in a sling. I'm truly sorry, but it sounds like a wonderful thing. I say, Charles, don't you ever crave to appear on the front of the Daily Mail, dressed in your mother's bridal veil? So I checked all the registered historical facts, and I was shocked and ashamed to discover how I'm the 18th pale descendant of some old queen or other. Oh, has the world changed or have I changed? Oh, has the world changed or have I changed? Some manual took with pedal strokes, I swear to God, I swear I never even knew what jerks were. To the palace with a sponge and a rusty spanner. She said, I know you and you cannot sing. I said, that's nothing, you should hear me play piano. We can go for a walk where it's quiet and dry and talk about precious things. But when you're tied to your mother's apron, no one talks about castration. Go for a walk where it's quiet and dry and talk about precious things like love and law and poverty. We can go for a walk where it's quiet and dry and talk about precious things. But the rain never flattens my head. Saps your body, and the church will snatch your money. The Queen is dead, boys, and it's so lonely on a limb. That's the pub that breaks your body, and the church, all they want is your money. The Queen is dead, boys, and it's so lonely on a limb.
Yeah, that was good. That was real good. Sorry, pause that. Um, that was fantastic. Like, as, a lot of what we've listened to on this channel from the Smiths has been, um, a lot of pop oriented, I feel like, but they do rock and roll really, really well. We've heard a few songs from them that I would think lean more towards rock music than pop. And this one is definitely one of those. But yeah, they do rock and roll so well. So this song really, really worked for me. I think lyrically it was fantastic. Instrumentally it was fantastic. I think Morrissey always does a great job vocally, and it really just kind of shows you some of the versatility of this band. Yes, that was it, Buff Malibu. It was London. That was the other one I've listened to recently that was like very on the rock and roll side. That was just really, really good. Yeah, for sure. I think the Smiths, like I said, are definitely pretty versatile. Like the first song I listened to was from them ever was "I Know It's Over," and I'll be honest, I wasn't into it at first. I love that song now, but I was just like, I don't get it, And then as I listened to it more and more, and just kind of seeing a lot of different music from the Smiths, it's just like, okay, like these guys, I can see why they were so popular, and why they continue to be so popular. I mean, they just make damn good music. So anyway, let's jump into it. Let's start, of course, with the lyrics and a little bit of background information. It says here, "The Queen is Dead" parodies media fascination with the royal family over bombastic guitar bursts and an aggressive bass line. In a 2015 Reddit AMA interview, Noel Gallagher has named this track as one of his favorite The Smiths songs. That's cool. We're going to hear a little bit from Oasis a little bit later, so that's cool to know. What have the artists said about this song? Copied from songfacts.com. Morrissey explained to NME in 1986, "I didn't want to attack the monarchy in a sort of beer monster way, but I find as time goes by, this happiness we had slowly slips away and is replaced by something that is wholly grey and wholly saddening. The very idea of the monarchy and the Queen of England is being reinforced and made to seem more useful than it really is. The whole thing seems like a joke, a hideous joke." Here in America, a lot of us talk about how like the Queen is just, I can't think of the right word, not useless, but doesn't have maybe as much power as some might think. But I don't know. I'm not, from the UK. I don't know how the feelings toward the monarchy are, overseas. But just from the American point of view, it's just like, oh yeah, she's the Queen and she kind of just hangs around. But there were some lines in here that I really liked. "Oh, take me back to dear old Blighty. Put me on the train for London town, take me anywhere, drop me anywhere in Liverpool, Leeds, or Birmingham. But I don't care, I should like to see, I don't bless them. Farewell to this land's cheerless marshes, hemmed in like a boar between archers." Damn, what a line. Hemmed in like a boar between archers. "Her very lowness with her head in a sling. I'm truly sorry, but it sounds like a wonderful thing." I didn't catch this the first time, but yeah, her very lowness instead of like, her highness, that kind of thing. Her lowness. Just a little, one of those little things that makes a big difference. "I say, Charles, and she ever craved to appear on the front of the Daily Mail dressed in your mother's bridal veil." And so I checked all the registered historical facts, and I was shocked into shame to discover how I'm the 18th pale descendant of some old queen or other. "Oh, has the world changed or have I changed?" That was one of those lines that really stuck out to me. Has the world changed or have I changed? And, regardless of the context of the song, that made me think like, oh, like that's a great question. Because I feel like I ask myself that sometimes, like, have I changed or is like, basically I'm like, has the world always been this bad? Has the world changed or is like my perception of the world, is that what has changed? "Some 9-year-old tough who peddles drugs. I swear to God, I swear I never even knew what drugs were. So I broke into the palace with a sponge and a rusty spanner. She said, I know you and you cannot sing. I said, that's nothing. You should hear me play piano." That's interesting. That's a really interesting line. Interesting. I don't want to read all this. I could definitely get lost in some of the historical background to this, but we can go for a walk where it's quiet and dry and talk about precious things, but when you are tied to your mother's apron, no one talks about castration. We can go for a walk where it's quiet and dry and talk about precious things like love and law and poverty. There are the things that kill me. These are the things that kill me. We can go for a walk where it's quiet and dry and talk about precious things, but the rain that flattens my hair. Oh, these are the things that kill me. All their lies about makeup and long hair are still there. Past the pub that saps your body and the church will snatch your money. I love that line as well. Past the pub that saps your body and the church will snatch your money. The Queen is dead, boys, and it's so lonely on a limb. Past the pub that wrecks your body, and the church, all they want is your money. The Queen is dead, boys, and it's so lonely on a limb. Life is very long when you're lonely. It's kind of ironic because the Queen is like really old and is not dead. But I think, here it's a sort of a metaphorical thing, right? Like the Queen is dead. We don't need to listen to her anymore. It's like she's passe, if you will. So yeah, lyrically, I think the lyrics here are fantastic. I give it 2 big thumbs up. The instrumentation and the vocals, of course, I think, Morrissey always does a great job. But again, it just kind of speaks to his versatility as well, that he can do, these swooning, crooning, like pop songs, and then he can really kind of rock out at the same time, right? Yeah, the Queen was old in 1986, and here we are in 2021. But yeah, I think, he does different vocal styles pretty well. He sounds similar, of course, because he is one guy, but it just, his voice really works well with a lot of different genres, I would say. Instrumentally, I love, like, from the moment that the drums kicked in, I was like, yeah, this is going to be like one of those energetic songs. So I think the drums really, really provided a lot for this one. The bass line was fantastic. The guitar work was excellent. We kind of get a little solo there at the end that was really good. And then I don't know if there were chimes or what, kind of near the end. It added just a little bit of spice there at the end. So instrumentally, vocally, this one rocked out. It was so good. I give it 2 big thumbs up. And then, of course, as far as replay value goes, this is one of those that for sure makes the playlist. Like, this was a really, really solid song. Really fun to listen to. 2 big thumbs up across the board. Really enjoyed it. Can't wait to hear more from the Smiths, especially if it sounds like this. I think, I joke, but at some point, we're basically just going to get through their entire discography, because there are just so many people who love so many of the songs from the Smiths that, we'll eventually probably get to every single one of them. But again, solid request. Thank you so much for whoever asked for that one. Let's go ahead and move on to the next.